Hey KU fans, thanks for checking out this week's episode of KU Sports Extra. This right here is Tom Keegan. I'm Matt Tait, and as always, we've got good news and we've got bad news. And I look at you for the bad news because you love telling the bad news. You love it.
Well, you love being the good cop, so I'm unselfish. I'll let you do what you love to do.
What a guy. What a guy. All right, good news first. Let's talk about Kansas football. They play at Texas Tech this week. The 29-game road losing streak is on the line. They're going to go out there and try to break that. But you know what? The good news is they're not talking about it. There are no signs in the locker room, no posters, no gimmicks. These guys don't care. I think you were interviewing Ben Heaney just the other day, and he said, honestly, I don't even know what the streak's at anymore.
And I asked, that's true, and I asked Clint Bowen, do you talk about that, or do you just stick to the process that leads to wins? Right. He sticks to the process. I knew that was going to be his answer. He's very much an in-your-face, what's the issue at hand, the assignment at hand.
Right.
And stick with the process, and the result will take care of itself.
Absolutely. I think that's great news. For some teams, those gimmicks work, but a lot of times those are teams that have had success. When you're still trying to find success, just stick to football.
Exactly.
And that's what they're doing. They're not talking about, Michael Reynolds told me the same thing. We haven't brought the streak up at all this week. So that's good news.
I agree that it's good news, but there is some bad news. In Clint Bowen's first 2 games as a head coach, the opposition has run a kickoff back for a touchdown. That needs to be addressed. That needs to be corrected. There is no margin for error on this team. Got to put a stop to that immediately and permanently.
Yeah, the one against West Virginia was deflating. It was a momentum killer. The one against Oklahoma State was the difference in the game, probably.
Right.
So that definitely hurt. Well, let's move on to Lost in Translation and hear from Clint Bowen this week as he talks about progress on this team.
We are seeing progress. You know, I believe if you come to our practices, and we're still not urgent enough, but you know, our practices, I feel our kids are understanding the importance of urgency more. It has to continue to improve. And I think on the field, you know, we've been able to go out and, you know, put back-to-back games where we played hard and got a little bit more physical this last game, and I think there's progress going on.
That's right. Translation, progress, sure. But if anybody thinks that we're closer to the middle here than the beginning, Yeah. I, Clint Bowen, am not happy with where we're at. Progress isn't good enough.
That's a football coach talking too, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah, he's not impressed with what they've done.
Yeah, we got to keep doing more, and then maybe I'll be impressed. And I emphasize maybe.
No, it's like you walk off the 18th green, you're never impressed because you're
even
convinced you'll do better the next day.
There you go. Fair enough. All right, well, let's talk about KU and if they can do better and break down street. This game is winnable. I think that. Would you agree?
Yes, it's winnable.
Yeah, let me tell you why. Texas Tech has lost 4 in a row. And Cliff Kingsbury, their head coach, their second-year head coach, who's 35 years old, has said, hey, we're really having a hard time finishing games right now. Kansas has played much better in the second half of its last couple of games, so maybe that works to KU's favor a little bit. But beyond that, Texas Tech gives up a ton of rushing yards a game. They give up a ton of points per game. And my goodness, if any team needed to face a defense like that, it's Kansas that needs to find a way to keep getting that offense moving and improving and producing every week. So I really think as much as the Kansas defense has been a focus in all these other games, those guys are going to show up. We know that by now. So this game is on the Kansas offense. It's on the running game to get going again, and it's on the receivers who are veteran guys, and they're facing some guys who are true freshmen at the corner position, sophomores at the corner position. I really think there's a chance for this offense to have a game and really determine the outcome based on how they play.
Yeah, and for the first time, make them think twice about loading the box because Cummings can be accurate long, and if he is, look out.
Yeah, confident guy. We talked to him earlier this week. First time we talked to him knowing he was going to be the starter. The guy is just a smooth customer. I mean, he just sits there and says, I'm happy. I'm just trying to improve. I'm enjoying it. Hey, what do you want to look for this week, Michael? I want to win. I'm not trying to worry about my stats. I want to win.
He gets the absolute most out of his ability, and his teammates know that, and that makes you rally around him.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's get to it. Prediction time. KU at Texas Tech, 2:30 Saturday. Last time we were there was a double overtime thriller. Tony Pearson went nuts. James Sims went nuts. Michael Cummings was actually the starting quarterback that day. KU almost pulled it off. What do you think this week?
I'm going KU 28 and Texas Tech 24.
Wow, this is incredible, and we should mark this down. Tom picked KU. I'm picking KU. I like their chances a lot. I've got it by just a little different margin, 28-23.
Wow.
24. I mean, you think that defense is going to give up a ton of points. Let's be honest, 23, Tom. All right, well, let's move on to prediction time. Well, away from prediction time to prime time pick. Who you got? Who's going to lead Kansas to that 28-24 victory that you're predicting?
I'm going with Jermaine Mundine. Michael Cummings does a better job of finding Jermaine over the middle, of looking over the middle, and I think Jermaine is better than Texas Tech's linebackers are.
Yeah, I'm getting a little worried because I'm feeling a similar vibe.
You should
here.
be very worried.
I'm very worried, actually. I'm going to go a very similar reason, a different player, but a similar reason. My primetime pick, Nick Harwell. 7 catches last week. That's the kind of guy that we knew he could be. He knew he could be. I talked to him earlier this week. He said, that was the first game where it kind of felt like I was back at Miami, Ohio, and doing what I did there. So I think Nick Harwell could have a huge game in this one. He caught a deep ball against Oklahoma State. He loved it. He likes getting his hands on the ball to make plays. So Nick Harwell is my pick. Let's move on. And Tom picks Jermaine Mundine. Let's move on to the most obnoxious man in sports this week. Who you got?
I'm going with NASCAR driver Tony Stewart. Got into a little fracas after a race on pit road. He wasn't the one who started it, but he could have completely stayed out of it. His car got rammed, so he decided to back up into the guy who hit him. And he's on probation for 4 races and fined $25,000. Given what happened in Canandaigua, New York, he should be on his best behavior. This probably is his best behavior. He's obnoxious.
Yeah, good point. It's cool when my dad does that on the freeway, backs into people that cut him off or whatever. I give my dad that
the freeway being
one.
bumper cars at the carnival.
Right, we'll say that. Yeah, but when they do it in a professional setting like that, ridiculous. My most obnoxious player in sports or person in sports this week. Look, he could have been probably a long time ago, but Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston. I'm just tired of hearing about this guy. I'm tired of him being in the news. He continues to have problems. He continues to get in trouble. He continues to let his mind and his mouth get him in bad spots. And this week, I read a thing where Bo Jackson was on the Jim Rome show talking about how he reached out to Jameis and said, hey, look, I don't know who's giving you advice, but here's what you got to do, young man, and you got to do this and you got to do that. This is Bo Jackson, who's from the same hometown as Jameis Winston, and Bo Jackson, who won a Heisman Trophy, and Bo Jackson, who made some mistakes in his own right back in his day.
Well, not many.
Yeah, right. But, this is a guy who's trying to help this guy, has no reason to help him other than just to do something right, and Jameis is like, no, I don't need that advice. That's crazy. For one, you've got to change your ways, Jameis. And for 2, listen to Mr. Jackson. Bo knows.
Well, yeah, I was going to say for 3, Bo knows.
Yeah, so I just think he's obnoxious. There's no doubt about it. And, just play football. He was great to watch last year. Stick to that and don't worry about anything else. That's all the time we've got this week for KU Sports Extra. Thanks for checking it out. And be sure to catch all our coverage from the beginning of basketball season, which is now here, through Saturday's game at Texas Tech. KU football at Texas Tech, 2:30 Saturday. We'll be down there, and we'll have all your regular coverage. We'll talk to you guys next week on another episode of KU Sports Extra.